Hello, this is an Ibach grand piano made in 1927, 5 foot 3 inches long. There's many things to say about this piano, but I'll try and keep the video short. The many special features it has. Now, first of all, I think it's a worn-up wood. If you're a specialist in wood, like to confirm that would be really useful. And it's in almost perfect condition. My colleague, a polisher, has seen it and is excited about the thought of tidying it up, because here and there there's just very, very few blemishes, but can certainly looks practically perfect. And the sides as well. I'll just briefly go around the whole piano so you can see. Often on the top lid you get a fade line. There's no fade line on this. That is actually a reflection, as you can see. So it's really special. It's repolished by Harrods, I think, or rather for Harrods. Harrods sold it in 1960 and round about. So it's one of their, I think it is their type of finish. That can be also improved, I think, and possibly got rid of completely. And very nice styling of Ibach has always been one of our favourite makes of piano, and they're particularly good at making small grands. When I first tried to lift the lid up, I couldn't, and you usually have some catch at the side here to turn, but I discovered in the end, or my colleague discovered actually, this button here, so that needs pressing down for the lid to go up. I've never seen this before. If you're in the trade and have seen it, then it's a wonderful idea, really, and also has a double prop stick, which is not that common for a piano in 1930s. There's the Harrods plaque that enables us to date when they sold the piano approximately. The piano's got replacement keys. I think they're replacement keys. I think probably they'd be ivory original, and they're kind of ivory look-alike, so they're all perfect condition as well. I love the way these pedals slope down, as mentioned before, about other pianos, Bechstein in particular. Steingraber we've got in that has sloping down pedals, which means you don't wear out the end of the pedal, as you often see on some pianos. And it does enable us, I think they're quite low, so it does enable caster cuts to put under if you want more leg room. Internally it's in extremely good condition, and the tuning pins are original tuning pins. As we said before, you can tell that because a normal size tuning lever is very floppy on it. That's because they're small, and older piano manufacturers tended to put small tuning pins in, which is really useful, because if you do want to put larger ones in, you've got plenty of sizes to go up. This is the worksheet made of the piano, so made in 1927, Harrods sold in 1960, roughly, reconditioned by them, as we'll see the hammers in a minute. A little used since then, and has a warm tone. It has a delicious tone, actually. Really grateful to get this piano in. We need to pitch raise just slightly and leave it slightly sharp so it can go down in the client's house. By the way, it's really important to have the humidity and temperature correct, as you'll see on our guarantee section. You'll find that under advice. Regulate the action, reweigh the keys, voice, tidy case. You'll see we've put weights each key. That's middle C, that's the C above, and they're a bit low. Well, they're very low, some of them, so we want that to be about 50 grams. We want the bass to be about 52. That one's 52, that's the sharp there, and the treble we want to be 48. Well, that one's 48, but they vary. That one's 52, but so need evening out, really, and we're very pay a lot of attention to get the feel like a new piano. And there's some voicing to do. The B indicates it's a bit on the bright side. There's our key down there. So this was middle C, 43 grams. That's a 43 gram weight. You need to put your foot on the pedal when you do this, and you might find coins in your country that give you the right weight if you look them up on the internet, and then you can try and weigh your keys and see if they're even. This very handsome piano stool came with the piano. Folks buy adjustables mostly these days, but it's a very handsome piece of furniture, and if you can get one the right height for the piano, you can always try and take a little off the legs if it's too high, and then put cushions on if you want different people to play the piano for varying height. But this is very smart indeed, very beautiful. It does need reconditioning, need repairing actually. The top lid's lost its hinges, but it's a beautiful piano stool. If you're interested in helping us with piano stools, we don't really get time to work on them, so we need people to take them to the upholsterer and so on. So if you're keen on helping us, that would be wonderful. We also got some sheet music with the piano, and we very often get offered that, but have no one to sort it out. So again, if you are keen on helping us there, all the proceeds for the sheet music go to charity. On Ibach grand pianos, the unicorda mechanism shifts to the left, as we can see here. But most pianos, they shift to the right. There's a good contrast on the unicorda too. Interesting feature on the Ibach actions is that they have a tied action like many Bechsteins do, but they have a capstan here to adjust, which is better than the rocker system you get on the old Bechsteins. Now, looking at the action, the hammers are not very worn since it was reconditioned by someone for Harrods. These hammers have been replaced and almost like new really. There's hardly any wear on them at all, but just enough to give an unicorda contrast. And the hinges are very tight too. The regulation is generally good. The spring is working well. As we lift the key up slightly, it releases it from the back check and you get it springing up. But I won't go on a long time about this because I mentioned regulation in many others. There's a nice regulation screw there for that, like the Bechsteins have. There's not much wear here on the rollers too, though we will lubricate them and we'll just double check, try to refine as much as we possibly can. So that's an Ibach or Ibach grand piano, not quite sure the pronunciation there. And we've often had these small grand pianos, and Ibach are very well known for making extremely good small grand pianos and very respected in the trade. So if you need a small grand piano, there isn't really a better one. In fact, obviously all grand pianos are different. The touch on this is very light at the moment, so that will be one thing to think about if you're interested in the piano. If you have an interest in the piano, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com, with any queries. If you'd like us to do a video call with you while we're in front of the piano, that's also a possibility. It has a very warm tone. There's a bit of voicing. Wherever you play, it's a very even tone piano. Delightful to play. So I hope that's been helpful. Please do write to us, as I say, if you're interested in the piano. We occasionally get these in, and not enough of them around, and we're very keen to source them, so we're very grateful to get this one. Thank you very much for listening.